What's up, family? Welcome back to Truthville, USA. I am Q, and I had to come to you guys and talk to you real quick. I'm excited about the fact that we are getting so many people from the other side that don't necessarily believe what we have to say or like Donald Trump, and that's fine. But my job is to come on here, speak the truth, Truthville, USA. That's why we are who we are, and to make sure that I give the other side of the argument and people can listen to that. And we've actually had several people who have reached out to me privately and said, you know what, Q, I didn't necessarily believe any of this stuff, but you give me some good, valid points to think about. So every time I get involved with a discussion about Donald Trump and most liberals, I always get the 34 felon and blah, 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 and all of this. But now we're dealing with real hard evidence, okay? We're not playing the games anymore. We are dealing with hard evidence. We're dealing with Arctic Fox. Okay, we're dealing with this operation that Biden put out there that he used Jack Smith and the DOJ to go after a former president in Donald Trump. Now we find out that they took Donald Trump's cell phone that was issued and all of his personal call logs. Okay, now, these people had bad intentions. They were doing everything they possibly could to find a way to put Trump in jail. Do not let it get twisted. That was the purpose. The whole intention was to find something bad enough to get Trump put in jail. For any of you liberals out there that want to have a discussion, a civil discussion, I want you guys to explain me those 34 felony counts that you guys want to talk about so much. I want you to explain to me exactly what those counts were and how they came to be. And I want you to explain to me the last person that you know that was actually imprisoned for it. Because I defy any of you to be able to do it. So they had to throw some weak things at him just so that they could try to convict him in the court of public opinion. But when it came to the real courts, they were unable to put together a any type of reasonable case against him. But think about this just for a second. They took his phone, they took his personal call logs, they dug in as much as they possibly could. Now you guys want to come and say, well, Trump was on the Epstein files. Really? Do you honestly think if Trump could have anyway been tied to the Epstein files, that he wouldn't be in prison already? If Trump had any dirt, any real dirt in his past, they used every penny to their disposal with the DOJ to try to find anything. They had professional investigators going left and right. They were using the power of the government to try to coerce people into making up stories, and they still couldn't come up with anything. And while I'm not going to sit here and try to give you guys a false story, or I'm not about to sit here and be irreverent, but it kind of reminds me of the story of Daniel, where they said, bring me anything on Daniel. And they said, we got nothing. We've tried, we've watched. I mean, we got this one thing. He prays several times a day, but that's all we got. We'll use that. We'll make it illegal. And so the kangaroo courts continue to go. And again, I'm not trying to be irreverent here, but what I'm trying to say is that any of you who don't see that this was a miscarriage of justice, and then they not only did that, all those things, but then they knew that they were in the wrong, so they went after Trump media who had nothing to do with January 6th. Trump media didn't even come into existence until 2024. But they had to use whatever they possibly could to try to find something that would stick. And even with all of those resources and all of that manpower and all of that time, they could not find anything that would stick against Donald Trump. That gives you the kind of man that he actually is. Let me know what you guys think. These are my thoughts. Love to hear from you guys. Comment below. I'll see you guys next time. Be blessed.